They are ancient. They are relentless and almost immortal. They are chicken vampires. This is my nightmare.
Have chickens, they said. It'll be easy and fun, they said. No one told me about what was coming towards me. Of course, there's no such thing as chickens turning into vampires. I'm talking about the other creatures. They are sucking blood. They are really hard to kill. And they mostly come out at night. Mostly. I'm talking about the red bird mite. Of course, nasty little things. Actually, one of the first things I realized was that the young cat Malka didn't want to come into the chicken coop anymore. And she was in here all winter long. The next thing was that on the roosts, all the chickens moved to the center. No one wanted to sit on the outside of the roosts. And when I finally discovered them, they already were in the coop in piles. I did some research on the internet and everyone said, spray Diatomite. Well, dynamite might have worked better. I armed myself with following weapons. Diatomite with water and without. Washing with hot soapy water. Hot air. Insect spray. Vinegar. Gun oil. Tape. Steam cleaner. Bathing the chickens. Professional insecticide. Lime. Fire. I'm going to tell you how to use them and what I think about them, how much they helped or not, and at the end I will tell you what I would have done differently with the whole coop setup if I would have known before. Let's begin with the Diatomite. First off, I thought it'll be a nice easy video about spraying this stuff. And by the way, this is the main reason I bought a compressor. It makes spraying whatever much easier. Diatomite are microscopic particles with razor-sharp edges. They get stuck on insects and slice them open and drying them out. And a fun fact on the side, Alfred Nobel found that DE absorbed nitroglycerin, making it more stable. His patented product we all know as dynamite. So I mixed some up with water and added a bit of dish soap. This way it's a much less dusty job and it gets better into tiny slits. I sprayed the whole coop with plenty of this mixture. I would say this worked quite well. So this wood's supposed to be pretty dark and all that white layer. So it's spread really evenly. That's very good. Shortly after spraying, it looked promising. Still many of them are moving. Not as bad as before. I hope so. Towards the evening, even better. Only the next day, the big crawling was back. I sprayed another layer without water. The good thing about the compressor is that it shoots the dust away from you and you can avoid breathing in large amounts. And this time it looked much better. Until I looked at other parts than the ones where they piled up. So it's nothing I'm looking forward to, but I'll have to do that by hand, scratching them off bit by bit, washing them with hot soapy water, and I hope that will do the trick. I mean, if I just wash them down, they are still in the coop. I have no idea, but I'll do that now and we will see if it's helping or not. Now the worst bits, of course, are down here. Up here, of course. And yeah, see this dark spot there? That's all mites. And I hope they're drowning. Later on tonight. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, running. But the next day, heat doesn't do them well, I read. And the supermarket just had hot air guns on sale, so I gave that a shot. Only the airflow was too strong and I couldn't tell if they died or just got blown away. I tried the same with a hot air welder, but it was still too much airflow. Little by little I became desperate and just grabbed an insect spray. I soaked them good and it had its effect on them. Looks like that worked pretty well with the insect spray. But I had to realize up on the ceiling, there they are still, and you see how they are dropping? I've got a feeling as soon as there's a heat source beneath, they'll let themselves drop. Little by little. So, more insect spray. As I said, even on the cables, cable canals, everything. Everywhere. My next trial with the mites is a mix of vinegar and water. Some drops of dish soap in. I'm getting desperate about these. They're everywhere, they're always coming back, and maybe they don't like the sour. And I have some Ballistol. It's, I think, a gun cleaning oil or something. I don't know about guns, so I read that mites don't like to walk over it, or if they get covered then they die. So yesterday I sprayed the Ballistol gun oil. I have the feeling the oil did something. So I got me more, bigger bottle, cheaper stuff. Up front, we'll have another check how it's looking under there. All the wormholes in the roost don't help a lot as well. But it all seems to work. There's nothing moving anymore, except on the spots that I've missed. Another thing I'm doing is putting double-sided tape around the beams, because the mites walk at night from here towards the chickens and they might stick on it. It's a bit of a task because all the powder and the oil I spread it around here so that stuff isn't sticking anymore, and I hope they don't just walk beneath it. And the thing is also it's a bit of a control, so you can check in the morning how many mites are sticking on the tape, so you see how bad it is or how good, depends on how many you're having. It's not sticking on there at all, so I have to tape the tape on the tape tight as possible. Like so. But on other spots, by the way, the transparent ones are young mites that haven't sucked blood yet. Many of the measures I took because of the mites in the chicken coop, they worked, some better, some less. It's really hard to say, but they keep coming back. What really helped was the double-sided tape around the sitting poles on both sides. It gives the chickens more peace at night, and they realize it. Little by little they are going back there to sleep. Somewhere they are still around. I decided for something else. I got me this steam cleaner. I've seen that this is what professionals are using to kill them really all with heat. Okay, 2 days ago I cleaned the sleeping poles here with a steam cleaner, and yeah, seemed to work quite okay, but while it was really bad here, all the chickens moved to that side of the coop for sleeping. And since I only cleaned that part here, only yesterday night I realized that in that part here, there is where the mites are now. So they kind of follow the chickens where they sleep on the window boards now. All around the windows there were thousands last night. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today, cleaning all that with a steam cleaner. Yeah, it's a never-ending story. Yesterday night I locked the door, so this morning they couldn't get out. They all have some food now. The only way out is through this bucket of medicine. I have to pick them one by one and it'll be a mess. Especially the rooster, he's still a bit scared of me. Next. Is alles okay, Lizzie? The dog knows something bad is going on. Okay, they all got a dip. Sun is coming up so they can warm and dry. Rooster is still freaking out. But yeah, and what's fun? Not. The rest of that stuff I'll spray now. And the nightly check showed that the bath wasn't the ultimate solution neither. Okay, this is something I'm not really proud of, but I got me the really bad stuff. This high concentrated insecticide. I'm dealing with it now for 2 months, and whatever I'm doing, every night I'm going in there and checking. I see some of these little bastards walking around, and because that stuff is so poisonous, I'm going in there in full protection armor. I'll get the chickens out and they will stay out till the evening. I'm not taking my camera equipment in there while spraying. I don't need that. Everything gets covered in that poison. So, see you later. Well, I did it. I'll check tonight. Maybe it takes another day or two to work, but I'll let you know. After doing all what I did, it looks pretty good about the mites in here, except this one spot. Every night I come in here, on here are tons of mites still running. I mean, I knew that up front and I sprayed here especially a lot. And somehow these animals are still running over this piece of wood. And I have no idea where they are constantly coming from and why they aren't dying by running over the poisoned wood. I want to see what's going on under there. So let's have a look. What I'm going to do now is painting that stuff in a very, very high concentration right on it. 1 by 1 mixed with water. Usually you only put like 10 milliliters in 1 liter. So this is very strong stuff. The next night I saw an innocent spider walking over this board. Poor thing only made it halfway until it died. But the mites, they just kept on walking. One thing I'll try now, one of my last options is lime. So I got me this Don't use your normal paint spray gun, it'll just block. Seems like I sprayed too much of the lime, too thick, not enough water, so it's just after drying coming back off easily. The bad thing is I need to do it again. The good thing is I can add way more water, so I got me another 3 bags and they should last quite a bit longer. Another bad thing is that by spraying the lime too thick, it builds cracks and the mites are now nesting under the lime. So keep in mind to spray it very thin, but in multiple layers. Well, one of my favorite tools I discovered, I use it very often at night when I discovered a bunch of mites. Fire. Just be careful, work quick in an environment like that. And you're getting some feedback of them. Each one is popping and you hear it, so if you hit a spot with many mites with a flame, you hear that you hit them. Now this is what I'm doing for the last 2 weeks or so. Every day I go in, get these all up, then checking really closely. After doing that now for a while, I think it got better. Every night I go in as well and check on some certain spots where I always saw them walking. And I think yesterday was the first night where I couldn't find anything walking, crawling around. So really hope that it's coming to an end now. Well, the actual end of all that only came with the winter. When it got cold, they disappeared. I would have loved to show you a video with the ultimate solution, like just do this and you're good. But it was probably just a sheer amount of these mites I had in here that made it so difficult. And just as promised, now every one of these measurements I took and what I think about them. It's that many. I need a list for that. So the Diatomite, in general, I think it's really working. I know it's working with other insects. As I said, it's probably just a huge amount of mites that I was having. And also in the beginning, like, I wasn't aware of that they were just everywhere on the ceiling, on the walls, like everywhere. So Diatomite with water is somehow the cleaner job to do. In dry form, it's easier to do. No matter which one you're choosing, should be okay. Washing them, as I said, you probably just wash them down to the ground and next night they just move back up. I'm not sure if they are really drowning, how much water it needs to drown them. Of course, it's best to keep the whole chicken coop as clean as possible. The hot air, as we have seen, you just blow them around and you never know are they dead or not. If you're just blowing them away, it's the same with washing them down. I mean, hot air definitely kills them, but they are that tiny, it just needs a little breeze and they are off. The insect spray, yeah, worked. Some work better than others. You have to try out which one is good. The vinegar, in general, the sour environment isn't liked by any insects, so can have an effect. Again, with that many, I'm not sure how much of an effect it had. The gun oil, of course, every animal that you're covering in oil will die. The only thing is, you get them all. The double-sided tape around the roosts, that's actually quite a good thing, because your chickens in the middle of the roost are safe, and it also gives you a feedback on how many mites are there around, are there any at all. So it's actually something you can do right from the beginning on. Put some tape around the roosts and check it every now and then. If you see mites on there, then you have to do something. The steam cleaner. First off, it's nothing more nasty smelling than reheated, re-moistured chicken poo. So that wasn't really a nice thing to do. The heat itself definitely will kill them. You get into tiny slits with the steam. But then again, that steam cleaner is pushing out air, and some of the mites might also just be blown away. Bathing the chickens. If you have the right medicine for that, yeah, vets say that it's working like that. But it might be easier if you have only up to like 10 chickens or so. At that point, I had like 30, so yeah. The professional insecticide. You've seen it, you heard it. It's killing insects, and I have no idea why my mites just ignored it. They more or less went like, give me more of that stuff. The lime, old people say that's the way to go, and it might have worked better if I wouldn't have made that mistake by spraying it too thick. So just go very thin down and layer by layer, so you might have a better chance on that. But actually, mites were nesting right beneath the lime. That just doesn't make sense at all. Finally, the fire, that works pretty well as long as you see the mites, so you go over them and they are dead. You can also go with the fire over other surfaces. I have this one wall with tiny little holes in there, and I went over there and it was just a firework crackling sound coming off this wall, so these worked quite well. My general advice for your chicken coop to avoid this from happening is keep your whole coop as small as possible. I made mine that big because first I planned for 100 chickens until I realized that my outside space wouldn't support that amount. I want the chickens to have plenty of grass outside to feed by themselves. So that didn't work out. And it's that big that in the wintertime or whenever they aren't comfortable from going out, they have enough space to roam in here. But yeah, keep it small, keep all the surfaces even, try to avoid slits, and keep it as clean as possible. Just constantly check on it. Not that mites have the chance to pile up like in mine. All this footage you've seen, that was recorded last year. And what can I say? As soon as it got warm again, the mites are back again. So I'll be in here with my gas torch for quite a bit. And just as the mites are back, I hope you will be back. So leave a like, subscribe, and always look out for the
chicken vampires.
See you in the next one.